What did you like from day one? Was your first training camp was the Nicholas tonight?
I thought it which the first group before the first practice they really set the tone. Like the leadership through Myers, Marcus, and Patterson, they were on Professor at the back practice. He looked good. Yeah. There's things everyone's got strengths and weaknesses. Like the last row, you would see like really hard on guys. But that's knowing you. You're not used to the physical part of it. You kind of got to do those things. It's hard to shoot out of summertime and get big feels and touches like that. But I like the way they transition from a each drill into tracking to rush, quick up. So I thought it was really
And it's one session, but there's so sort of uncertainty around Philip Cheadle. Kind of what he went through at the end of last season. What are your expectations? And it's one day, but what did you see?
about injuries or we talking about his play.
Well, the injuries certainly. But what are your expectations? And what did you see in one day from Philip Cheadle?
Yeah, I think we got two good forward coaches to help him. It's funny to talk about his injury. We've discussed, we're studying him entering the neutral zone. What's his pattern? What's he doing? We want to be more of a team that try to fill those 3 lanes and enter at level. We had always had that inside drive, which was stuck with a lot of the movement at the blue line, where I think maybe he's picked up some injuries as far as the East-West game, where that's when you see the East-West game, that class where he will jump up on him and catch him on Bob. Like I said, he's got so much skill. He can skate, but we're going to keep grinding on how we're going to play as a group. Once he gets those landmarks, then that skill set will take over. He's a great kid. He loves the wire, and he's all for it. So I think that tells on both question.
Adam, when you took this job, you touched on how it meant a lot to you to be a head coach in the region. This morning when you woke up and I'm going to hit the ice for the first time as a head coach, what are those emotions like?
Well, I got top to know the best talk. I was like, those assistant coaches better be that good today. So, and they were. I couldn't believe Brett McLean's energy and the other coaches were awesome. And he's like everyone. We had it going on. I would say the one change was probably the players got caught on the goalie that's in the second session, and they ruined the ice. They're on too early, so that's our fault. We'll fix that.
But what was it like for you?
It was fun. You never know how that first practice is going to go. You go over it. And, like I said, I've had great teachers behind me who have taught me certain things to do, and I think we were taught on. You got to go over it. Got to do it over it 10 times. So I felt like the pucks were in the right spot. So the players won't have to play it too much. So they're always going to press on us a little bit.
You put Braden Coots with a couple of guys who's played in the NHL. What are you looking for there? What's the idea?
I just think when you get a high draft pick like that at that age, something great. You don't really see what they've got until I played with a couple of experienced guys. These are so much fun. I saw Rush show back. We did a lot of Rush where he was really good, because he knows when he knows when to pull back. He knows when to stay level. As you have 3, he knows when to drive. He knows when to be the scoop guy on the weak side. So I saw his brain today, which I liked a lot. And no disrespect to Brooklyn Game. It's hard. Those rookie games are hard. You get guys off summer. You get felt structure, all different people from all over the world, and everyone trying. Everyone's trying too hard. You know what I mean? It's just a big mess up there. But you do find great things, and I think it's good for rookies to get those touches. I thought he had a real good day.
I know it's only one day, but a guy like Quinn, did you see anything different from a leadership perspective? How he kind of he took ownership, took charge in a different way than he did previously?
Yeah, what I liked is he didn't get frustrated. They had the bad ice, right? So the ice was bad. We did a lot of rush early, but some bomb that pucks just excuses keep trying. But what I liked is he didn't get discouraged. I'm upset about that. I said it was kind of his control. And we had a good conversation. I'm not going to tell you about what at the end of practice, but he was chuckling, and he's continuing forward. pretty good. He's very still, right? So, he gets it. He's starting to get it even more, and we'll continue that relationship.
Was some anticipation that he would be playing for the Pirates and start the season. What do you think as the individuals can bring to him? How would it complement his game?
Well, today was more of if you see a progressions of, we did a goal in one with progressions of adoption to attack them. You saw him rush. I felt like they got all of it down the street retired. I don't know if you guys saw that, but so then Best is so smart. Like, so he can read off Sam, whether he knows he has to be F3 or use a driver or deal one out to those guys. And for his first date, I didn't obviously rush against their defenders. It looked good. Right? Everyone looked pretty good. But I felt like they had some rhythm, so we'll try to grow on that. And we'll see, and we'll not know until we get to the game that we're all going to go back to our hotel rooms and read way too much into the line politician. So, well, I mean, listen, what do you tell us? Well, it'd be nice if you do that, and if it works. And we're going to experiment too, and maybe it'll work. Let's find out, but we don't have a lot of time as far as the old days. Got a lot of preseason games, literally the 4 games. We got to try to see if someone's got some rhythm together, right? And that was good stuff.
What did Phil say? It felt like he rolled out day one ready type combinations through the top line into comp 4, and then there's a part to figure out when you that drop in your life.
If it works, yeah. So, yeah, it's fair to say. I mean, I'm not going to hide anything. To be Tabrisco, what, 28 to so I thought PD today, his energy, that practice here today, it's only the first day. I thought it was one of his best practices we had last year. But I told him that, and like, he's read it. He came here early with Denver. We did before it got with those awesome. So he was into it. Yeah, he had a lot. I thought he was into the practice. So, hey. If it works, and Devin we'll try something else. And that's all we can do is let's see if we can get them some rhythm, right?
Will you make any roster cuts while in Penticton, or is everybody here through the week all?
They're through this week.
I mean, he just shot Demko here. He seems a little more relaxed, a lot more, and seems different. I think he's healthy and he's got a higher attitude. You talk to him about workload. You want to still be careful with him in a way because he's
yeah, we're always going to communicate with him and workload for sure. I think you're right. I think he's a real good mindset to that. He's trying to take on a more of a leadership role without overdoing that would affect his case. Like, there's times where you just lead by example. It's an emotional time. You're good with it as long as it doesn't take apart his energy for his next trip, right? I think he's matured a lot out of that over summer with that part of it. I think he likes that part of it, but we talk a lot about do it, but don't just do it to do it, but also don't burn energy down or so I think he's him. So I love it. So I think he's a very good follower.
We've seen him at his best a couple of years ago, having that guy on your team and see how much of a difference maker is that for us.
I don't want to disrespect Goalie Columbus. He's my friend. The defenseman until I left Walk. So I don't write that. But I said it was. I'll call him right down. He's a great goalie. This is what my point is. When you got a top 5 goalie, and it's like football stuff. You have a top 5 quarterback, you do a lot of things. Right? You keep them healthy. I hold the guy with you, right? So that's nice to end up. I truly believe when you look at they can do a lot of different things to sound like that there. We got a guy like basketball, right? I like to say things in Mahomes, in my opinion. So if we can keep Denver in the right spot, right frame, right, manage him, and go 3 with him, he's in a good spot. We will hopefully highlight him.
Will you work on any special teams here this weekend?
Maybe day 4. Day 4, we're kind of leaving open to see how these first 3 days go. We'll see how the first 3 go before we decide exactly what we're going to do.
Can you just in generalities, even with your penalty kill? Obviously, Pius no longer here because they did penalty kill on GT at times last year. So you got Teddy. what are you thinking up front? Like, are you looking to incorporate anybody that maybe hasn't been part of the group?
Actually, it's a good question. I am. I mean, I think Besser can kill. I think he's so smart that he can kill. Like our kill was very detailed up ice. We knew when to strike. We knew when to back off, and in zone, like he gets like he did we'll see. We'll see how his minutes go. Right, we got to manage the rest. We didn't have a power play, right? But yeah, a guy like Besser, like you're going to see him. There's a couple of young guys who get practice at great levels and kill. Get O'Connor. We're gonna find a thing on the list. I've got my list in my head. Goalie. I thought Goalie was a good killer. You know what? He was going over the boards in the World Championship. Dino was riding the PK. He had Goalie over the boards first. Because in the year last year, Walt to go back. You know, fast talking to him, use him. He left less use him, and then I thought he did a hell of a job at Goalie there. So we'll get the right spots, but again, your kill takes time, right? So it'll be test plot at the start of the section, so we get some real.
Adam, you talked a bit yesterday about empowering young players, right? The Detroit visit and on and on. And when we saw some of the system stuff that, not full installed, but that you were working on, whether it was the entries off of the very part or sort of some of the D-zone work and over on that ice, it seems like there's maybe some responsibility being given to players, additional responsibility in terms of reads, opening up the puck and with it. Do you view sort of the concept of partnering with this group of players as sort of going beyond the off-ice culture stuff and also applying it how you want to play?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you said, except if they're not going to do it, then I'm going to do it. They're still, right? So today was an example. We just weren't doing the drive as well as we have to do. The guys were doing it. Not all the guys, not every rep, but it's hard for people. It's human and it's nature. It's natural for someone not to do it every time because they're not used to it. But it's like that drive is a key to any guy who likes that. One of the keys. And we nailed them. We go up to guys like, get your line driving, come drive, and go on assistant coaches, get them driving, or I'm coming next show. You know what I mean? So, but that's just to crack bad habits and get them into their head. And no one did any really good things there. Like now, we're just how you start now. And just a couple more places to do.
Throughout training camp, we've seen the three groups now. Is there going to be movement between the groups, or are these kind of how you foresee it the rest of the weekend?
Well, we might move, right? DNA, a couple movements. We'll see a lot of discussion tonight. And I think we won't move anyone from Seattle probably today, but we'll have a discussion again. If we don't like something that's happening in A&B, we might get a couple other guys in. Well, on first day, it's first day we don't want to do too much and just everyone's first day. I'm sure they'll be having them back to say this coach let's get so it's our first school too.
Adam, you referenced yesterday that you wouldn't mind saying one or two young guys who could have Abbotsford split the league, make the team. What is specifically would them stick out where you go, I think they're ready?
I like the question because we're going to have a conversation before the first game with a lot of these guys. Yeah. Usually the young guy tries to get their first, everyone's points, right? For me, it's predictability and being reliable. The points will come if you do the right thing. And there's been some young guys that have been close or past year, and then you just got too fancy at the wrong time. And I'd rather these guys know that we're not judging them on point production. Even if they make it the first 5-10 games, it doesn't matter. If they do the right thing, they'll do something to get it. But they're young. They've been rewarded their whole life for great points. They don't ask about unless they get points. They don't get a star in usually any tournament going up unless they get points. So we want them to know that just playing and our structure, these reliable, these pets, and all that I believe in points. And that'll get them off of it, probably the fancier price.
Last question. Building on that question, Max Hassan mostly played wing when he's played at the NHL level for Cuba Colorado the past few years. He's starting at center today. What sort of opportunities waits him in terms of looking?
He's got to play center, a lot of center. He's got a lot of speed. Right? Another year, I think. You look at what happened, Calder Cup. You got a lot of experience, so even more as increases in game.